welcome to the Monkees podcast. Happy New Year, Merry Christmas, Happy Hanukkah, Happy what did I miss? Ramadan, and I missed everything. Sorry, everybody. I have been on vacation. My guest co-host today is Garon Cockrell. Yay!
Hi, I'm super excited to be here. This is so fun.
I am so glad to have you. Garon Cockrell is the, are you still considered the intern? I'm not sure what your job is on Never Not Funny.
On my resume, and I do have it on my resume, it says, I think it says intern / cast member.
Oh, good. Okay. Because I feel bad calling you an intern.
/ fourth banana.
Yes. Fourth banana on my very favorite podcast in the entire world, Never Not Funny. Also a writer, a studied, a degreed writer, a professional writer. How many books do you have? Two? One, two?
I have two books.
Two books.
One's a short story collection. The other one is a actual book, I guess, like a real grown up book.
Oh, that's so cool. And you are a horror movie aficionado, is what I would say.
Yes.
Which is not my thing, I must confess.
It's not for everybody. Sometimes it's not for me, but
sometimes it's just scary. And I'm like, oh, I can't do this. Yeah, my limit is like creepy movies. I can do creepy. Like I watched like Get Out was like my edge, right?
Mm-hmm. Yep.
I wanted to stand up and scream and run around, the theater.
Yep.
And then Us, I was like, no, I should not have watched Us. This was not.
Yeah, he took it out. He amped it up after Get Out. That's the thing, is that a lot of people, I'm generalizing, but when they hear horror, they think gore, or they think, horrific blood, guts, whatever. And it's not all like that. Like, I'm not a big fan of the Saw movies or the gore torture porn stuff.
Yeah.
I like more supernatural stuff. I like slashers, but I don't need it to go. I'm not a big fan of Italian giallo movies, which are so violent and so I can't. There are very few of those that I can actually. I want to watch them so I can appreciate that part of the genre. But man, it's tough for me. I can't. I'm too squeamish.
Those are the movies I just read the synopsis on Wikipedia, so I know what they're about.
Yeah, pretty much.
Like those Cube. What do you think of those Cube movies? Are those in your?
Those are good. Those are you mean like the ones where they're trapped in the thing and they have to escape? Yeah, those are actually pretty good.
Oh, no, see, I just read about that. I was like, I don't know if I can handle that many people in a cast dying.
Yeah, that's true. It's a massacre, basically. But it's pretty well done.
Yeah, it sounded pretty cool. So I will read about horror movies, but then I will not go see them. I did force myself to watch the what is it? The one by the same person that did Midsommar. What was the other one he did?
Oh, I don't know.
The one with the miniatures, the one with the little miniature house. And then the crazy...
Hereditary.
Yeah, I forced myself to watch Hereditary. And I know people say that that's not scary, and I know
Hereditary is terrifying.
People, some horror movie aficionados that I have followed online are like, oh, scary. Oh, people talking about.
That's there's a word that I'm trying to think of that I can't think of. And by the way you pronounced Midsummer, you said it fancy like. I'm like, I don't know what movie that is.
Midsommar.
Right? Like, is that? I'm scouring my brain for is that like an Italian movie? What is this?
I'm sorry. I get fancy when it's Swedish because I love Sweden. I used to be obsessed with Sweden. So
did you watch Midsummer?
No, I haven't. I watched Hereditary first, and now I'm not sure I can watch Midsummer. I don't know if I can.
There's some gruesome stuff in it's beautiful,
right?
The way he shot it and everything, but it's a little intense at times. And it's very long.
Like I was texting my friend as I watched Hereditary because he has the same. Hi, Dave. He has the same squeamishness, a little more than I am, and I was just like, no, I can't take it. No, it's too tense. I can't take it. It's like I paused it and walked around my room. I couldn't.
Yeah, it's. If you had troubles with Hereditary, it's not so much that it's scary, because it's not. Mm-hmm. It's more so that it's horrific, and it's disturbing,
right?
But like a good cult movie needs to be like that because it's about a cult. Spoiler,
right?
Sorry.
No, I kind of know.
So
what
you
happens.
have to. Yeah, it's great, but it's also. I mean, my face was hidden when they were doing some stuff.
Okay, if your face was hidden, I'm going to pass on Midsummer, everybody. Even though I love Sweden, I'm sorry. I'm not saying that. Anyway.
Wait for the Disney Plus version.
Oh, yay. Okay. Anyway, everybody, we're here talking about the Monkees.
That's not going to happen.
Who are not from Sweden.
Yes.
The Monkees are not from Sweden, although one member is from Manchester. Wait, Manchester? Did they say? No, that's what they said in that thing. Yeah, Manchester. Yeah. So the Monkees podcast. And Garon, did you come into this knowing anything about the Monkees?
I have a very brief history with the Monkees. Like, I remember when I was a kid, it would be on like Nick at Night, and I would watch it like in the early hours or like really late at night, I feel like. But I don't remember a second of it outside of this. Because when I know we're going to talk about this episode later, so I don't want to get into it. But
right.
Like, I know the song and I know the music, of course.
Okay.
And when I was a kid, my mom and my brother went to a Monkees convention.
Whoa,
or
really?
concert or something. Yeah, and I didn't go. And I feel like they met them or something when they went.
Yeah, they were having conventions. That would have been like the 90s?
I think it was the early 90s, maybe late 80s. It had to be early 90s because I think they left me alone to go.
Yeah, so I think they were having conventions at that time.
Yeah, it was. Yeah, so they came back and they were all happy and excited. I was like, all right, whatever.
Oh, that's so cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, I had sworn off them at that time. I was like, that's baby stuff. I'm not watching that anymore. But now I'm back. Yeah, I came in at the MTV reruns when they the Summer of Love, like it was 20 years late. It was like 1986 when they started showing them on MTV. And,
wow.
And that's when I got into it. So yeah, I was obsessed. Absolutely obsessed. Like I had pictures on my wall. They reissued some of the old teen magazines from the 60s.
Oh, wow.
And so I bought them. And so I had like old articles and old pictures and stuff to put up on my wall. I rewrote one of the scripts as a play.
That is amazing.
By hand via VHS. I was going to put it on with my friends. And then somehow my little 13-year-old brain realized, I don't think this translates to the 80s. I don't think some of this will make any sense. But yeah, that's how obsessed I was. Some of the listeners know that, some of them do not. But yeah, I was super obsessed. So, and then they came out with some albums in like the late 80s and early 90s. And I was like, these are some old men. I do not care anymore.
And now you're back again.
And now I'm back. I'm like, oh no, it's so good.
Not unlike horror movie It, every 27 years you come back to the Monkees.
Oh no, is that what happens? He comes back every 20 years?
Every 27 years.
Oh, see, I had no idea.
27 years.
Because I never watched that movie. Never watched it. I was like, or that TV series or whatever it was.
It's good stuff.
I was like, nope, I don't need that. That's terrifying. Yeah. I remember my dad would be watching it like in the living room and I just keep walking. I'm like, no, I'm not watching Scary Clown movie. All right. So everybody, we're just going to keep talking about horror movies, aren't we?
I know, right? I can bring it out. I can always bring it back.
Oh, we should have done this. Oh, I'll bring you. Oh, maybe I should have you back for their Halloween episode. They do have a good Halloween episode. It's very cute.
I will tell you right now, I'm happy to do it.
Oh, yay. All right, everybody. We watched episode 20, we are going to watch episode 20, Monkees in the Ring. I will read you now the little description thingy. Directed by, episode 20, Monkees in the Ring, January 30th, 1967. Directed by James Frawley. Written by Gerald Gardner and Dee Caruso. Produced by Robert Rafelson and Bert Schneider. Associate producer Ward Sylvester, a Raybert production. A corrupt boxing promoter, Ned Glass, convinces Davy that he possesses the talent to be a prize fighter. Suspicious of the promoter's motives, Mike, Mickey, and Peter learn that all of Joan's bouts are fixed. Songs include an alternate mix of Laugh and an edited early version of I'll Be Back Upon My Feet. Production notes. Monkees in the Ring was filmed in December 1966. When Mickey and Peter comment that Davy would be safe if he were at the corner of Crescent Heights and Sunset, they are making reference to the location of a popular teenage night spot, Pandora's Box. In late 1966, youth demonstrators clashed with the Los Angeles police over curfew issues outside this establishment, causing havoc that led to the club's ultimate destruction. The group discusses this hot topic during the end of show interview in episode 19, the audition, Find the Monkees, and sometime later, Michael Nesmith composed a song called Daily Nightly, which cryptically describes these events. Songs, Laugh, and I'll Be Back Upon My Feet. All righty. Any comments on that description, Garon?
It fit the bill perfectly.
Yes. Now, going into this, I remembered not liking this episode. I will tell you why when we come back, but well, no, I'll say, why now? It was pretty Davy centric. And when I was younger, Davy was not my favorite. He was like, I think my least favorite. So I was like, this episode is a lot of Davy and I do not care for it. But so yeah, I really hadn't really seen it in a while because it was just not high on my list of episodes to rewatch.
I'm fascinated.
All right. So, everybody, you can find this episode on a tube made for you. Also, sometimes people have found it on MeTV, DirecTV, on Sling. I haven't seen it on Sling. I wrote this list a long time ago, so I don't know if that's still accurate. But go ahead and watch episode 20, Monkees in the Ring, and we will see you in a bit. What an episode. What an ending. Who could have seen that coming? All right. Hope everybody enjoyed that. Garon, what did you think of Monkees in the Ring?
This is the first episode of this show that I've seen in too many years to mention. I think probably, how old am I?
20?
Probably 25 years. Maybe more.
That's crazy.
Oh, that's gross. Cut that. So I don't, like I was saying before, I don't have any memory of what this show was actually like. And so when I was watching it, I was like, oh my God, this show is a lot funner and sillier than I thought it was.
It is silly. It is some silly stuff.
And I was like, this is kind of like almost like a Scooby-Doo episode. It's just so, but I was laughing at it.
Good.
Was like, can I get this on Blu-ray? Is this show on? Can I buy this?
Yes, you can. That's what I used to do. Oh, back in the before times, we would meet. We'd be doing this in person, Garon, and we would have watched this episode together on my beautiful Blu-rays.
Oh my God. What's that like?
It's so nice because the colors are it's so beautiful. It's like remastered. Oh, it's so good. I would see things that I'd never noticed before. I'd be like, oh, look at that thing in the background, But sorry, everybody. We're just watching it online now. Someday. All right. So let's go through. Yes, it is very Scooby-Doo like. There are very Scooby-Doo elements to the show.
And I don't mean that as a negative. Like, I mean that because I love Scooby-Doo was my show growing up. Yeah. Like, so especially in the boxing scenes where they're in that like the chaos at the end, I'm like, this is basically them running through from room to room.
They literally do that in some episodes, Garon. They literally run from room to room in some episodes. Okay. All right. Monkees in the Ring. So we start off with Davy and Peter. Peter is my favorite, just so you know, walking down the street and Peter is eating pistachios. And then Davy scolds him because he is leaving a trail of pistachio nuts all across the city. And I have to say right off the bat, he's leaving shells, Davy. He's not leaving pistachio nuts. He's leaving shells. And so Peter feels bad. He goes back to pick them up. And then he runs into a big guy. And then the guy starts to try to start a fight. And then Davy intervenes. And I think, does the guy swing at Davy? I can't quite remember.
No, I think he just kind of like, he just gets up on him. Like, okay. I don't think he actually pushes him. I think he just, I don't know.
I can't quite remember. But then, and then Davy like touches his chin very gently. And the guy goes down. Oh, it's a setup. It's clearly a setup. And the Sholto, I guess his name is, comes up and says, oh my gosh, oh, you're a good boy. He's been watching the whole time. It's like, oh, I can make you a featherweight champion of the world. And that's your setup, everybody. That's
funny because until just a second, I was thinking, how did that guy get knocked out?
It was a setup.
It did not occur to me that, because I thought he was just that Shoto guy was just there hanging out, like melancholy, like I need to find myself a new fighter and I don't know how to do. And then he just stumbled across this scenario. I didn't even think that it was a setup.
It totally is a setup. Why would he go down when like a tiny Englishman touches his chin?
I don't. That's what I'm like, is this guy got such a glass jaw that happened?
Oh, well, I guess you know what? He should have shown up at the gym later. If he'd shown up at the gym
Yeah.
later, then we would have been like, oh.
That's
But and then this is one of the classic cases of where you could see Peter mouthing the lines of Sholto before he says it. It's terrible. Peter is such a bad actor sometimes. He literally like says like champion at the same time. He mouths the word champion at the same time as Sholto says champion. So watch that again, everybody. See Peter mouthing the
Oh my
lines.
God. I remember thinking, I'm saying this as if I watched it a month ago, but
Yeah.
I didn't, obviously. But it's like, I remember like, did his mouth, like it kept kind of just like pinging in the back of my mind that something like that was happening, and I couldn't quite identify what it was.
You saw it. You saw
That's
it. And what he does, he plays it off. I think maybe what he meant to do was to mouth what he just said. Like I like what prize fire? What champion? But he does it too early. I don't know. I don't know if he tries to play it off like he was echoing or he just did it, and I don't know. But yeah,
is that like his device to remember his own line?
I don't know. But I noticed it a lot in my rewatching. I didn't notice it the first time, but then when I was watching it again, like last year or so, I was like, oh, Peter, I can see you mouthing other people's lines.
Oh God, that's great. I actually like that a lot. That just adds to the charm of this show.
Peter. All right, and then we have our intro, and as my the opening credits, and as my listener is I'm sure sick of me saying I hate the season 1 opening credits. I don't like them, but we're still in season 1. So there's the song. Is that the song you remember, the opening credit song?
Hey, we're the Monkees.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Yeah, that's the song.
Do they change that later?
Well, it's the same song, but they changed like the images.
Oh, I see. Yeah. Okay.
They changed the images, and the season 2 images are better. All right. So now we're at the pad. That's what they call the apartment that the boys live at. It's the pad. We are at the pad. And then we have our first of our Sholto Shylock jokes. Did you notice this, Garon? Where they
would they mess up their names?
They would say Shylock, I mean Sholto.
Yeah.
Is this an anti-Semitic joke?
Oh, I don't know.
Because isn't that like a Shakespearean character that was like a Jewish like con man or something?
I don't know. Interesting.
I really think that that's kind of an anti-Semitic joke. I don't know. I'm going to look that up.
The freedictionary.com says that Shylock is someone who lends money at excessive rates of interest. Loan shark, moneylender, usurer, lender, loaner, someone who lends money and gives credit in business matters. Shark, a person who's ruthless, greedy, and dishonest.
Right. And he's a Venetian Jewish moneylender and merchant of Venice. I think that's a vaguely anti-Semitic joke that they're doing.
It could be.
Which is really that way. Uh-oh. Oh, I think I messed up my sound. Hold on.
Uh-oh.
I want it to say turn off original sound, right?
What are you trying to have it do?
Oh no. All right, whatever.
You know how many times we have this discussion on Never Not Funny?
I have heard you have this discussion on Never Not Funny, and I think about it every time I do this.
So I think
I want original sound. Yeah. So I need to click this button. Okay.
No, if it should say off.
It should say turn off, right?
Yeah.
Okay,
if you want it.
Yes.
So, yeah.
All right. I just changed it. Sorry, everybody. All right.
Zoom is nothing if not, user friendly. There's a word for that I can't think of. Intuitive. That's what I'm trying.
Oh boy, I know. I have to check my list every single time. I have like a checklist. And I'm like, okay, did I do that? All right. Okay, sorry everybody. Okay, so yeah, they do this Shylock Sholto joke, which I think is slightly anti-Semitic, but that's okay. I mean, that's not okay, but we're just gonna have to move on because this was from 1966.
Right. I guess it was okay in 1960s. Do they say that every time they say his name, or do they do different names?
No, they do Shylock every time.
Okay. All right.
Of course, at the time, I had no idea what that meant. I was like, what?
I didn't either. I just thought he was just a nonsense word. I don't know Shakespeare. I have an English degree.
Oh.
I don't have a British degree.
Yeah. Oh my gosh. Yeah. I remember when I was in college, like I was like I think I was one class away from getting a theater minor. I would have had to take in the Shakespeare class. And I was like, no, that's okay. I don't need to take like a whole giant course in Shakespeare.
Oh, I did take a Shakespeare class. Look, I recognize the guy's a genius. He invented so many things that are still going on today. I cannot understand it.
You know
That's
what?
it.
I kind of love Hamlet. I really do. I will watch any terrible production of Hamlet. I
I,
don't care.
I don't. There's nothing wrong with that, and there's nothing wrong with the work. I just it's just I don't, for some reason I can't, like the original language. It just
It is like a puzzle.
yeah, I just can't really get into it, and I don't know why.
Yeah. Yeah.
I'll ask my therapist about it.
Yeah. Sure. I'm sure your therapist holds the key, or maybe.
Right.
Yeah. Okay. So moving on from Shakespeare. All right. So the boys don't want Davy to go into boxing, because they're peace loving guys. They're good. They're good kids. But he's like, yeah, we need the money. And then like a table falls over as Mickey is demonstrating how nice everything in the apartment is. And then there's a little joke about how Davy was beat up when he was a kid, but he scrapped, and then that girl never bothered him again. Ho, 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 ho. That's wacky, because girls beating up boys is hilarious.
Right.
And then Mickey turns into an old man, telling Davy not to go, not to ruin his hands. He'll never play the violin again. I never played the violin. Well, you could learn. Boo-hoo-hoo-hoo. And then Mike sarcastically laughs at that joke, which I appreciate the sarcasm from Mike.
It's quite possible that I sincerely laughed at that joke.
Me too.
Because it was so like, what is happening? This is a cartoon, and I just made me laugh.
Yes, they will randomly be in costume. You have to accept that. Yes, they are. They have fantasies. They are randomly in costume. Yes. All right. So then we cut to the office at the gym where where we cut to Vernon. It took me so long to figure out what his name was. Calls him Voynin.
Oh, his thug dude?
Yeah, Voynin. I'm like, what is that? And Vernon is like pretending he's boxing, like what is that little bag, little hangy baggy thing?
I think it's just a bag.
Yeah, I think it's called the hanging. Is it? No, it's not the hanging. There's like a name for these things. And I don't remember what they're called. Anyway.
Handbag?
Anyway, yes, it's his handbag. It's his purse. Purse comes up later. You know what? Boxing has a lot of weird terminology.
Yeah, it does.
It's so weird. Anyway, so he's boxing at nothing, right? And Sholto comes in and tries to get his attention, and he can't get his attention. And then he has to ring a bell because he has like a ring bell on his desk to get his attention. And then finally he pays attention. Garon, are you familiar with this trope?
I don't know. I mean, this is boxer just getting into his thing. I've never. By the way, it's called the speed bag.
Thank you, speed bag.
Yeah. Yeah, I can see that sort of being a thing that somebody just gets into their mode and they have.
I remember this being a trope a long time ago of the punch drunk boxer.
Wow.
Right before we knew what CTE was and like how serious it was. It was just, that guy's been punched too many times and you can only get his attention by ringing the bell. Like that used to be like I feel like it was in cartoons a lot. Yeah, the punch drunk was the term. Punch drunk boxer.
Yep.
And I was like, wow, I forgot about that. All right, so Vernon is punched. That's why he's so dumb, I guess. He took too many shots to the head. That's so sad.
Oh.
Poor Vernon.
Nowadays, that would be like a 6-episode arc on a drama.
It is. Oh, I'm sorry, Vernon. We mocked you and your dumbness. So they explain their whole plan. They're going to build up Davy, have a series of boxers take dives, and then have him fight the champion, and then they'll make their money, right? It's a basic, I don't know what it's called, but it's a basic boxing scheme. Yes, thank you. How do they say it in the thing? No. They just say fixed. All right. Yeah. So they're just going to fix all his bouts. And so that they can make money when he fights the champ. All right. So, and then the boys come in and Davy comes in with the boys and they threaten to get Rocco to throw the boys out. And this actually, I remember this was really funny to me when I was a kid. And I don't know why. The whole get Rocco. And then don't get Rocco. I thought that was hilarious when I was a kid.
It's kind of the same as like the Hello Doctor thing that the Muppets do. Doctor.
Yes, it is. It is. I don't know why. I always thought that was so funny, and I always wanted to do it. In my head, I was like, I'm going to write that into something someday. Yeah.
What if Rocco was the guy that Davy beat at the beginning of this episode?
I bet it was. You know what? I think
and it was that close to blowing the entire scheme.
That's it, Rocco. Yeah.
Deleted scene.
All right. So, and here's when they talk about, he just wants a little bit of Davy's purse. And Peter goes, he doesn't carry a purse. He carries a wallet. No, Peter.
Classic.
I forgot that Mickey came in as the Cowardly Lion, punching and saying, put him up. Which is really cute. Mickey's good for that. All right. So then they go to the gym. So he's like, all right, let's go to the gym. And as soon as the boys walk through the gym, all the boxers are like, hey, look at these guys. Ha, ha, ha. And I'm like, they don't look that different. What is it that they're not dressed like hippies? They're just some guys. I don't understand why they were immediately mocking the Monkees.
I don't know. Because it's not like a gym full of traditional, as we know today, gym rat looking, buffed up, whatever dudes. These are just guys. Boxing, and then the Monkees come in and are like, why? Because they're wearing jeans? I guess.
I know. Look at these guys in street clothes. Jeez.
You got the wrong kind of footwear on.
It's so weird because they're dressed totally normal. There's no love beads. There's nothing weird in their outfits. I don't get it.
You know what it probably is? It's probably that the writers of this show have never stepped foot in a gym. So and I haven't either, pretty much. So they're probably just assuming this is what would happen when these guys walk in.
Right. They're just projecting their own fears.
They're going to sense that these guys don't belong here.
Yes, that's what it is. That's exactly. What is that? It's that, isn't there a word for that? Imposter syndrome. That's what it is.
Right.
Yeah.
You're going to get a letter from somebody being like, well, to be honest, my great-grandfather or my grandfather wrote this episode when he went to the gym 3 times a week.
No, nobody's listening to this, Karen. It's just like my friends. Like, hey, Mark. All right, so that's it.
You're about to learn something about your friends, then, aren't you?
I guess so. Uh-oh. Man, if one of my friends was like a writer on the Monkees and they never told me, that is no friend of mine. Let me tell. All right. Okay.
It's my darkest secret.
Why? That would be the coolest thing ever. All right. So, Vernon loosens the speed bag so that when Davy punches it, it goes flying. And then Smasher comes over, and Smasher's pretty cute, I've got to say. Smasher's a pretty cute guy. The guy that they call over to take a dive. And then Mickey tries to fight Smasher, and Smasher doesn't move. I like that guy. He's pretty funny too later, I think. Anyway,
yeah.
He's
the guy that calls later, right?
Yeah, he's the guy that calls. Oh, okay. And then hangs up because everything's fine. All right. So,
so bizarre.
Then they go back to the office, and Sholto is still trying to convince the boys that it's fine if Davy boxes. And he says, you know what the thing that's closest to my heart? And they say, your lungs. And all 3 of them say it together. And it's a beautiful joke.
Perfect.
And then he guarantees, you know what? If Davy doesn't win his first 3 fights, you can have him back. And they're all Davy's dad, I guess. And they all say, oh, okay, that sounds fair. So weird. So,
as if he's going to emerge from 3 fights unscathed.
Right.
Like nothing's going to happen. Oh, only 3? All right.
Okay, yeah, sure. You can beat up my friend for 3.
Davy Jones is a skeleton with nipples, and they think that he's going to survive for 3 fights. Like, what are you talking about?
I know, he is a tiny man. And then they give him a robe, and he's Dynamite Davy Jones. And then Sholto just goes to chuck him on the chin. Real cute and affectionate light, and Davy falls over because Davy has a glass jaw. And there's even the sound effect of broken glass. Yeah. I love the sound of broken glass. All right, so now we are... Oh, I can't even read my writing. We are at the pad. That's right. And Davy is packing. Davy is packing to go on the road with Sholto. And they're like, ugh. And Peter is in the back playing the banjo. Now, this used to embarrass me as a child because I thought the banjo was the nerdiest instrument that a person could play. But now I'm an adult, and I know that's.
Oh God, yeah. It's like, I don't want to hear that hillbilly. I almost swore this hillbilly stuff.
And you can swear. I don't care.
But that it grew. I love the banjo now.
I know, it's an amazing instrument.
Yeah, if you can make that thing sing, it's heart wrenching.
And Peter is was an amazing banjo player because he's back there playing Jesu, Joy of Man's Desiring. He's playing Bach. I think that's Bach. Oh boy. He's playing Bach on the banjo, just hanging out in the kitchen.
True artist.
I think this is Peter's desperate bid to say, I'm not really dumb, everybody. Like, this is just a character.
God, that would be such a funny thing if they did that, where they play him as this dumb character, but then off in the background, he's doing something incredibly like intelligent or whatever.
Yes. He's like doing calculus,
right?
Calculating the arc of, space travel and stuff. So yeah, he's playing Bach on the banjo in the background as, and then Mike is telling him, well, when you go on the road, you're going to run into these hotels. There's always a hotel in town that has like, fast women and dirty dealings. And as he's telling the story, Peter starts changing and playing these doom-laden chords on the banjo to accentuate the story that Mike is telling. It is a brilliant scene.
So good.
And then Mike says, you know what you have to do? And Davy says, find that hotel. And then Mike says, you'll be fine. So good.
Yes.
That whole scene is just beautiful. And then, wait, does he fall over again? Because I wrote glass jaw again.
Yes. He he right at the last second, he goes back. Yeah,
this episode is so dumb. Okay. All right.
He chuffs him on the head or something. I think.
He does something affectionate.
Like to ruffle his hair or something. And he goes,
falls over. So what is Mickey doing in this scene? I never pay attention to what Mickey's doing. He's just back. He's back there. I know he's back there. Is he eating?
Here's what I wrote down about Mickey is that he just has these looks that he shoots.
Yeah.
And every time I saw it, I laughed. Because he'll just scrunch his face, or he'll almost like he's winking, and he'll do these weird little things. So I'm sure he did that like a million times.
I'm sure. Yes, I'm sure there were many faces to be had on that scene because there was a lot going on. Okay. So now we're at their training montage, which is weird because usually there's a romp, which is what they call it every time when they're running around being crazy and there's music playing. But this isn't really a romp. This is a training montage.
Yeah.
And I guess on the tour, training and a boxing match montage. And we have the song Laugh, which I used to also hate this song when I was a kid. I don't know why. I was a very bitter child. It's just like, laugh.
Do you like the Monkees?
No. I was very particular. I'm saying I didn't like this episode when I was a kid because there was too much Davy. Wasn't enough Peter, right?
Yeah.
Peter doesn't do very much in this episode. And I was easily embarrassed by things. Did you ever have that when you were a kid? Like, oh, that's goofy. And then I would just want to crawl away.
Oh, yeah.
And something about musical laughing, like in the song when he goes, ho, ho, ho. I hated that stuff. I hate when you're pretending to laugh in a song.
Yeah.
And that would just make me cringe every time. So,
what's funny is that I think that used to be a thing for a majority of people. But now I think that's kind of gone away because we've turned people's embarrassments into entertainment.
That's true. Yes.
So fail videos or somebody being rather than being empathetic towards those things, it's now weaponized.
That's
so
true.
It's like, oh, this is getting a little woke, I guess. But
that's okay.
I know, because I like that stuff too. But yeah, I think that's why we sort of don't have that anymore. We don't.
Yeah.
I mean, it's not as prevalent, I don't think.
Yeah, because I hate it. I couldn't watch I Love Lucy very much as a kid because I was so embarrassed for her. I was like, ugh, just get your head out of the vase. Come on, what is happening? It upset me. Okay, so anyway, during this training this montage, we have Davy shadow boxing, and I think, what is that dude's name? I think that's his double, Rodney Bingenheimer.
Yeah, I was wondering if that was actually, I thought it was Peter because the guy was bigger and he had that
That's right. Maybe it was Peter, but I always thought it was Rodney Bingenheimer.
You would know more than I would, to be honest. I mean, I would think you would know your favorite shadow by heart.
I think, yeah, because the hair is very, and I think somebody know. I think I used to actually know.
I'm sure it's probably it makes more sense that's the double.
Yeah, but no, I think I don't know. I remember having this like whole discussion like online like years ago. Like, who is that? And now I don't remember what the answer is. That's great. Remember the whole conversation, but don't remember the solution. But yeah, he was oh wow, Rodney Bingenheimer is an interesting person.
What a
he was a
name.
Disc jockey. He was on K-Rock. He joined Sirius Little Steven's Underground Garage in 2017. He was a reputation for being the first American DJ to play Blondie, Ramones, Sex Pistols, Van Halen, Guns N' Roses, da-da-da-da-da. He managed a nightclub called Rodney Bingenheimer's English Disco in LA in the early 70s.
Is he the guy that did he have something to do with Elton John? I'm trying to think if I saw him in that.
I don't know. Let's see. There's a lot here. When he arrived in New York, Sal Mineo called him the mayor of the Sunset Strip. Come on.
Wow.
That's pretty awesome. That's my mom's favorite actor, by the way, was Sal Mineo. That was her favorite.
Is he the guy that was in
Rebel Without a...
Yeah, he's the little...
Oh, yeah, the little guy. That was my mom's favorite. All right, anyway, okay, so I'm like all into... Check out Rodney Bingenheimer's Wikipedia because it is crazy.
Coming next month is the... what's his name? Rodney Bingenheimer. Bingenheimer. God, man, he's got a name. You don't have a name like that anymore.
No. Okay, my love of like 90s and 80s radio is like getting in the way of this. Okay, all right, back to the Rodney Bingenheimer, everybody. All right, so
my joke. We're going to start a Rodney Bingenheimer podcast. That was the joke I tried.
I know, and I was trying to say no, I won't, but now I'm like, maybe. Okay. All right, yeah, the shadow boxing and like I love when he's jumping rope and it pulls out and it's like two girls that are jumping twirling the rope for him. That's really cute. Just a lot of shirtless Davy this episode. Just a lot of shirtless Davy.
Yep. I wrote down Davy Twink Jones.
I was like thinking, I wonder what Garrett's going to think of how shirtless Davy is in this episode.
I was like, to be honest, I'm like, did she pick this episode for a reason?
No, I swear I didn't. In fact, I was like disappointed when I looked it up and I was like, oh, Garrett's not getting a good episode. I remember thinking that. I was like, oh, no.
No, I actually liked the episode a lot. I thought it was really funny and really fun.
Okay. But yeah, there's a lot of shirtless Davy.
That's why I said skeleton with nipples. I don't think there's a muscle to be seen on that.
There's a little peck. There's like something.
That's makeup.
Makeup. They contour Davy's chest. Oh, okay. So we see Boxer 1 take a dive, and then we have like a funny bit with the lockers. Every time he goes to put something in a locker, like a boxing glove comes out and punches him in the head or something. We see Boxer 2 take a dive, and every time the Boxer takes a dive, like Davy looks around confused as the ref holds his hand up. He's like, "What? I didn't do it. I don't understand." We see him working out. There's a medicine ball comedy bit where he falls down. They get the medicine ball. He's lifting weights. He does jump up and pick up the phone receiver and lifts that for a while, which is kind of cute. The Shadow KOs him at one point. We see an exercise bit from a previous episode. That's why he's in a robe and it doesn't make sense when he's on that exercise bike because that's from a previous romp.
Oh my God, that's funny. I of course did not know that.
Yeah, they mix stuff up. And then he KOs the Shadow victoriously. And then Boxer number 3 takes a dive when they're shaking hands. He took a dive way too early. And I do like when all the boxers take a dive, they like peek up from the ground.
I literally was just going to say that.
Oh, sorry.
So funny. It's like, why are you peeking? Like, you're boxers. You know what's happening. What are you?
They're boxers. They're not actors, Garen. They're boxers.
Just went down to the LA gym and just got real boxers.
Oh, and they look up like, huh? Oh, I'm still passed out. Let me cover my face.
The camera's still rolling.
It's so cartoony. It's so funny. Okay. All right. I think there's like a newspaper like Davy Jones to fight the champ or something. I don't know.
Yeah.
And so then we cut back to the office and the press is there to interview Davy for the champ fight. And they love Davy. He's just cracking jokes and saying cute things and boxing, and they're taking pictures. And the Monkees are there for some reason. I don't know. And that's when the phone call. That's when Smasher calls the office.
Yeah.
And Smasher is mad because he only got $500 to take a dive. And I think Tiger Smedley got $800. And he wants to know why he got $300.
That's a lot of money in 1966. Am I wrong?
Right. Yes. That's got to be. I don't know. I can't do that. I don't know how to do
it. Just feel like
math,
for these amateur boxers to get $500 and $800 seems like an obscene amount of money. That's a lot of money now.
Yes.
I think.
Oh yeah. If somebody got 800 and I got 500, I'd be mad too.
Yeah. Like, wow.
We're on your side, Smasher. So Smasher ends up talking to Mike, and then Mike says, well, it's because he's a better boxer than you. And Smasher's like, oh, all right.
Fair enough. Thanks for your honesty.
Thanks. Yeah, Smasher's cool. All right. So, and then like in front of Vernon and Sholto and the press, Mike pulls Davy over in front of everybody to say it's a setup. They're setting you up. They paid those boxers to take a dive. And Davy's like, what? No. And then he accidentally hits Vernon in the face, and Vernon goes, whoa, oh, I better fall over real quick. He falls over. How would you tell your friend that they are being taken for a ride, Garon? Would you do it in front of everybody?
I mean, it makes sense if it's that dire, but the fact that nobody else acknowledged it, it's a room full of press.
Yeah.
Covering the events.
Right.
It's like the what? Boxing media. Why
did they not jump on that? Like, what? What are you saying, sir?
I feel like that was a thing though back in the day where they would just take 3 steps away and nobody else could hear
right.
what anyone else was saying. Like it's instantly a wall. Like, oh, they can't hear me. I'm 3 feet away.
Yeah, that happens a lot. I think that happens a lot in this episode, actually. Like a lot of Vernon taking a step away and then talking to Sholto, and then nobody heard it. I have to say, I did a little bit of research on this episode, just on like the actors and whatnot, and like that main reporter guy.
Uh-huh.
He was in one of my favorite MST3K movies.
Oh, wow.
He was in Attack of the Giant Leeches. He was one of the first people to die from the giant leeches.
That's great. The guy that kind of looks like Fred Mertz or whatever from I Love Lucy. Kind of.
Yeah, that guy with kind of the big face guy. Yeah, he dies in Attack of the Giant Leeches. And all right, so I have another fun background coming up. All right, so we go to the gym. Oh, and now it's Mike and Mickey are there to save Davy in some way, and they're dressed up in the sweats, which don't look like sweats. Sweatshirts back then looked really uncomfortable.
Yeah.
It's like, are sweats more comfortable now? Were they made out of something different? I don't understand why.
They look like they're always too tight around the armpit.
Oh, yeah.
It hugs your chest for some reason. I'm like, what? Were they one size fits all? Is that?
Maybe. It just looks so uncomfortable. But so they're dressed up and then there's like a whole, it says there's more than one way to skin a champ, which is a gross, stupid joke. And then there's a very long bit of them getting into the ring, going through the ropes to get into the ring.
Yep.
Very long physical comedy. And they've got like buckets and towels and all kinds of nonsense.
They may have been a mop.
Yeah, I think so. And they're there because the champ is there. The champ is there training, I guess. And the champ rhymes all the time. And you get why the champ is rhyming, right, Garon?
I'm gonna take a swing at it.
Uh-huh.
I wonder why is the champ rhyming all the time? What could be the reason for that? I wonder.
Because let me tell you, 12-year-old Tekurah, no idea. Did not know why the champ was rhyming. Because he's Muhammad Ali, everybody. He's Muhammad Ali, basically. I mean, it's just a play on Muhammad Ali. And so all of his lines rhyme. They claim to be from the boxing commission. It's a pretty good lie, actually. Yeah. I really like this lie. They claim to be trainers sent from the boxing commission because it needs to be fair because it's such a big fight. So they send out neutral trainers to each boxer, which I think is a pretty convincing lie. It's like better than any of their other lies.
It would be the best lie if it wasn't with actual boxers. Like, wouldn't they know? Like, yeah. Well, wait, this isn't a thing. What do you mean?
I don't know. I don't know how much boxers know, actually.
But it's on their end. It's a brilliant lie to come up with.
Yeah, I mean it's logical.
It is, but it shouldn't. It shouldn't work because the target of that lie should know it's not right.
Of course he should know. I'm telling you, in Monkees' world, that was brilliant. Like that. In Monkees' world, that was really good. And so they tell him that Davy like rearranged the previous guy's face, that his nose was over here and his eyes, and it was terrible. And then Peter comes in as this previous boxer, and he puts his leg up on the rope and says, "Sign my cast," all cute. And then he immediately gets an accent to explain to the champ that it was a split decision. He split my nose. He split my lip. All right. Then the champ figures out that they've wrapped his hands ridiculous. I think they've wrapped his hands together. Is that what they've done?
Yes.
So the whole time he's been talking to Peter, they've been wrapping his hands together. And then the champ is actually pretty damn smart. And he immediately figures out, wait, you're Davy's friends. You're trying to get him out of this fight. And then he of course, he says this in rhyme, and I don't remember what he says. Or maybe he doesn't rhyme. Maybe he gets so angry that he does not rhyme.
I don't remember now.
Because I know he says, "Hey, I get it. You're Davy's musician friends." I don't think he rhymes.
No, you're right. Yeah, that's what he says. You're right.
And then he starts waving his bandaged hands at them and yelling at them to get out. And then there's like a what do you call it when you like dub over like afterwards? What is that called?
ADR.
Yeah, and then there's like an ADR of "I am the greatest." They like ADR that in. But
it's a woman who does it. Doesn't even sound like the same guy.
And it's like, oh, come on. You can remember that line, or you thought like we didn't get who he was. I don't know. So, you know what? I feel like they put in all the "I am the greatest" seem to have been done later, like after they filmed the episode. It's because I'm thinking about in the ring when he says "I am the greatest," it looks like it's been filmed later. It's not like during the whole romp.
Oh yeah.
It's weird. It's like they decided, people don't know who he's supposed to be.
Man, this episode had like a $20 million reshoot.
Get that guy back. Speaking of money, no, that doesn't make sense as a segue. Anyway, that guy who was playing the champ, I can't remember his name now, but I looked him up in my research, and he directed the blaxploitation classic Dolomite.
Oh my God! Wow,
he was a huge blaxploitation like figure.
That's crazy.
So that guy, went on to direct Dolomite.
Humble beginnings.
Yeah. So weird. I love it. But he was a good actor. I really enjoyed him. He was very charming.
Do you think he gets recognized? I don't know if he's still alive, but he gets recognized more for directing Dolomite or for being the champ in this episode of
I think he probably got Dolomite more because I think he died like in the early 80s. So I don't think he made it to the Monkees revival.
That seems like he was young then.
He was. Yeah. He was.
Oh, that's sad.
Pretty young. All right. So, but yeah, yells at them to get out. All right, so then Vernon sees this whole thing go down, and so then Vernon goes to the office to tell Sholto that like, oh no, the boys have figured out. Well, they were in the office when Mike said he figured it out. What the heck? Episode.
There's that 3 feet rule.
Episode, what are you doing? All right. So he says, oh, the Monkees are going to try to stop Davy, and then Sholto says, well, I have 10 G's on the champ. And I don't know what G's are. I'm sorry. I'm real dumb. What are G's?
10,000.
10,000. Okay. Thank you.
So he's already spent 1,300 on dives alone.
Yeah. No, more than that.
More than that. Cause the third guy he got somewhere between $500 and $800, we can assume. So that's almost $2,000. That's over $2,000 pretty much. I don't do math. So he's out. He's $8,000 if he wins. I mean, that's still a lot of money in those days, I guess.
It is, but wow,
you got to spend money to make money.
Right. And then Vernon points out, you know what? Crazy things can happen in the ring. He's like, you're right, Vernon. Vernon gets a point. Vernon gets a point for, being smart. And he's like, you know what? We should slip Davy a sleeping pill. And then you go watch the Monkees and keep them in their house so that they don't interfere. So then we're and I kept writing down game, and it's not a game, it's a match. But in my notes, I kept writing down game. We're at the game. So we're at the match. The press is in his, what is that? Is that a locker room? I don't know what you call it. The backstage. I don't know.
I think it's just a lot. Yeah, I think it's just
the locker room.
I don't think it's a green room. I think it's just
yes. I don't know. Anyway, and the press is back there, and Davy is just, they love him because he's Davy. He's very charming. Yeah. And there's a one saying, "Oh, you have any concerns?" He's like, "Oh, I just remember that old Yugoslavian proverb, Haberiben, Soben, Sieben, Sagen." And they're like, "Oh, yes, Haberiben." It just says nonsense, and they repeat it, and they all write it down. It's a scathing commentary on the press and how they just repeat anything. They don't fact check. Shocking. And then Garon, something, please. Did you laugh? What did you do?
I did.
Okay, I didn't hear anything.
It's like, what? I don't know. It's so off the wall zany that it's like, I can't imagine anybody hating this show. Like,
yeah,
maybe back then, but nowadays it's
so innocuous.
It's a show that I'm like any minute now I'm waiting for some major resurgence. Because it's so pure and innocent and funny and silly and nonsense that it might be like just what the world needs right now.
You know what?
Let the Monkees heal the world.
Maybe it'll come back around again.
Put it on big screens in the Capitol, and there will be no more.
Yes, peace on earth. The Monkees. Okay, so, and another thing I noticed that they've done Yugoslavia as like a go-to. It's the director. The director of this, James Frawley, did a bit in an earlier episode where they were at like some big fancy function and they were trying to get help, and Mickey walks up to this guy and says, "Okay, don't say anything, but so-and-so's been kidnapped, da, 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 da." And then James Frawley turns and says, "Yugoslavia," and just speaks in foreign language. James Frawley thinks Yugoslavia is hilarious for some reason. I don't know why. Are his people Yugoslavian? This is the second time Yugoslavia has been used.
He has never heard of Yugoslavia until he started directing the Monkees.
He's just like,
"Oh, that's funny. I like that word. Let's use
hilarious. That." Yugoslavia. So unfair to Yugoslavia. Right. And those are almost the lyrics, almost the opening lines to another Monkees tune called "No Time." It opens with nonsense lyrics, and it's almost exactly what Davy says. And I wonder, let's see, this was in 1966. I don't know where they were in writing that song. I don't know. I'm very curious about that. Anyway, and then Davy absolutely refused. Davy pulls a Matt Belknap on this water. He is like, "No, I will not drink this water.
I'm not thirsty.
I am not thirsty. I do not want it. You cannot have me drink this water." There's even some ADR, never touch the stuff. I mean, he is adamant. He is not drinking this water. It's very strange. And then the champ comes in, and the champ has a very cute line. Something about, "I hear you have a lot of pluck. I just came in to wish you luck," or something. It was very cute. I like that. And then he's like, "I think I'm all parched through and through. I need this water more than you." And then takes and drinks the water. It's just like Hamlet,
it's just like Hamlet.
Just like Hamlet. When Gertrude drinks the wine that was meant for Hamlet. So we're back at the pad, and the Monkees are like, "Oh, where's Davy?" You guys, he left hours ago. The fight was starting in 15 minutes. And they think that "Oh, where's Davy?" Of course he's gone. It's very strange. The timing of this, they're searching for Davy, is very strange. They realize that Davy's already left. And so "Oh, well, we better go. Nobody can stop us, or anybody. I'd like to see anybody stop us." That's it. From going there. And then there's Vernon at the door with a gun, and Mickey says, "Hi, anybody?"
Yeah. I like that line a lot.
And again, a gun on the Monkees is still shocking to me.
I was saying, I was thinking that too, and I'm like, oh, that's interesting that guy just busted out a gun.
Guns are around all the time because if you think about it, this was the 60s. This was like, Gunsmoke and like all those westerns and like Mod Squad, like everybody had guns on TV back then.
Yeah, but I mean, in a show like this, it seems kind of jarring. Like it's
happened a lot. Yeah. It happened a lot. It's very jarring to me now. I don't remember it being jarring to me when I was a kid. And I kind of doubt it was jarring to anybody watching. I think everybody was just like, yep, he's a bad guy. Of course he has a gun.
Yeah, makes sense.
It was just like guns. Guns are things that people have. So now we're cutting back and forth between the game in my notes and the pad. So the champ is yawning through the introductions. They're introducing Davy in the corner in the white trunks, and they're introducing the champ. Does the champ have a name, or is he just the champ?
Oh, I think they just called him Champ. I don't think he gave him a name.
Yeah, he's just the champ. And he's yawning through all the introductions. And then we come back to the pad, and the boys have been handcuffed. Vernon brought handcuffs. That's horrifying to me.
He brought 3 pairs.
Yes. Well, I mean, I guess if you have a gun, handcuffs are no big deal, I guess. So the boys are handcuffed, and they're harassing him to adjust all the parts on the TV, the contrast.
Oh yeah.
All these different things, which
the horizontal hold.
The horizontal hold, and that's my favorite. This is possibly my favorite line of the episode. When they tell him to adjust the horizontal hold, he says, "The horizontal hold sounds all right to me." He refuses to do anymore. I love that so much. What neutral corner? Oh, I know it. Okay, yeah, now I got it. So on the TV, they're saying that they're going through like the referee's going through the rules. Like if there's a KO or something, you go to your neutral corner, and then that's when Mickey says, "I wish he would go to the corner of Crescent Hills and Sunset," and Peter says he'd be safe, and then Mickey makes a face. I don't understand why Mickey makes his face. He would be safe if he went to Crescent Hills and Sunset. I don't.
So wait, that's where the club is. That where their house is supposedly, or is that just where some club?
That's just where that club is, where Pandora's Box is.
Weird.
And
by the way, that apartment is nice. By the way,
that is a house, baby. That is a beach house.
Like that is a $10,000 a month apartment nowadays. So you guys better appreciate that.
I know, it's so crazy that like all those poor boys living in this beachfront property with multiple stories. It's ridiculous. Huge. That place is huge. They have like room for a bandstand to practice. It's crazy. That Beechwood, I think, is supposed to be the street that they're on. I used to know. Anyway, I'm sorry, everybody. I'm a bad fan. We almost called the podcast that. We almost named the podcast after the address of the.
Oh, that's funny.
Of the pad. But we're like, no, that's too inside. People wouldn't get it.
No, I think you got you've got that name nailed.
The podcast. Thanks, Jake. I think that was Jake's idea. At the pad, are they do Crescent Hills and Sunset? All right. So the fight is boring, but the radio announcer is trying to make it sound good because, of course, the champ is all sleepy and he's like falling over and like hugging on to Davy and wants to like rest and then for some reason the radio announcer is trying to make it sound good. I don't know why. I don't know why he's lying. Why would he just tell the truth? Like, oh no, something's wrong with the champ. That would get people listening. They'd be like, what? Tune in. What's wrong? No. Yeah, I don't understand. I don't get it. And then Sholto calls the boys. Does he call the house? How does Sholto? I just wrote down, Sholto tells Vern the pill will wear off in the 4th round.
Yeah, he calls.
How did that happen?
Why are you updating your goon? Like what? Who cares?
I know. Keep an eye on those guys. Okay.
You. Like, what are you doing?
It's so weird. So he tells them that the pill will wear off by the 4th. He tells the audience, hey, everybody, the pill will wear off in the 4th round. Which, again, what kind of sleeping? Whatever. Okay, whatever episode.
That's 8 minutes.
Well, let's see. They gave it to him before the bout. So maybe was there like a what do you call it? Like an opening card? What do they call it? Like a pre-card? Anyway, was there another?
I actually know this. Undercard?
Yeah.
Something
Was there like
that.
an undercard or something?
But even so, for a sleeping pill of that type, I don't think it's going to end in an hour or less.
Yeah, that's pretty
that's like a 12-hour nap he's got coming. And I'm like, what are you
I do like the part where he like yawns, the champ yawns right as they put like the mouth guard into his mouth. That's very cute. I do enjoy that every time.
Yeah, and how many mouth guards did Davy Jones swallow in this?
Every time they smack him on the back, he swallows his mouth guard.
And how many mouth guards do they have?
You just have a bucket of them, I guess, after this.
Right. He didn't get a mouth guard. Someone give me a mouth guard, is yelling to the audience.
And another guy somewhere in this episode, and I don't know who he plays. I don't know if he's like one of the guys on the side of the ring, but he was like also in Rocky. I think he played like the cut man in Rocky.
Oh my God, that's funny.
Like this guy was just playing like boxing coaches. I don't know. He was just playing ringside dudes for his career. That was like all he did. The pill's gonna wear off in the fourth round, and Mike goads Vernon into boxing, which is really good. Bob's like, "Oh, you ever box? Oh, that was probably a long time ago, huh? You probably can't do that anymore." And Vernon's like, "Oh, you want to go?" And Mike quickly says, "Yeah, but I need Mickey to be my second, and I need Peter to be the ref." And so they get uncuffed. Oh, Mike is so smart. And then back in the ring, Davy notices, oh boy, the champ is like, he's waking up. He's energized, right? It's like, Davy, you're fucking doomed, dude. Run. Even the radio announcer notices this. And then we see Vernon is fooled into going to the closet. Where's your corner? It's back here. It's over here. It's over here. And they keep moving him back. And then Vernon can't open closets. I don't know. They don't show them locking the closet.
Yeah, I like they didn't even do the chair bit where they just stick a chair underneath the door.
He's just in a closet, lost. And then we get another scathing political commentary where Peter goes over to the TV. He's like, such brutality. What carnage. I'm like, oh no, you're watching the bout? No, I'm watching the news.
Oh man.
Everybody, just take a moment for the brutality.
Timely
of the news. Timely.
Timeless.
They're timeless, yes. Oh, every once in a while the Monkees will just be like, zing, okay, back to the wackiness. It's so crazy. Okay. So now we're into a montage, and this is where we have I'll Be Back Upon My Feet. And it is like a weird edit. It's not like it's not like the album edit of this song. It's weird. Both of these are like weird edits of the songs that did not go on the albums. I do like the song I'll Be Back Upon My Feet. I don't know why. It is a song I enjoy.
Both of those songs were new to me. Like I didn't recognize.
Yeah, they're not.
I liked them a lot.
They're not huge ones. I like Laugh better now. Now that I'm an adult, I do like Laugh.
And by the way, that first montage, I enjoyed the fact that Davy can jump rope by himself and double jump by himself.
Right.
But when he's got two girls doing like the rope thing, there's no rope.
Wait, there's no rope?
There's no rope. Unless it was not, I couldn't see it on the thing I was watching, but for sure they just had sticks and they were moving the sticks and he was just jumping. I will bet money there was no rope.
So okay, I'm going to have to go back and look.
Yeah, check that.
Because I was just busy looking at how adorable Davy was, like jumping.
Yeah, I think they counted on that.
Oh, man.
Because also, if you look, the girl on the left side is they're not even in the same zone. You know what I mean? Like the one girl's way down, the other one's way up. I'm like, what are you doing? What's happening here?
Oh no, TV trickery. It got me. They got me. And I've seen this episode like probably like 10 times. I never noticed.
I could be wrong, but because I saw they did it like 2 or 3 times. And I'm like, where's the rope? Like, why isn't it?
Okay, I'm about to like go look this up now. Because I am flabbergasted.
Yeah, it was funny.
Okay, wait.
I'm completely wrong.
Okay, here it is. Let's see. And this was it
was the first montage.
Let me mute this so I don't get in trouble. Okay. I apologize if I have been like like quietly burping into the microphone, everybody. I'm drinking like sparkling water, and sometimes that is not a smart thing to do.
I did not hear.
What?
I did not hear it once.
Okay, good. All right, let's see. I'm going to the. Oh, I should share. Oh, I can share the screen. I forgot I can do that. You ever listen to Bananas for Bonanza with Andy Daly?
No, is that his Western character?
Yes, yeah, and they watch episodes of Bonanza.
I should, because that would be hilarious.
It's very funny, and what's also funny is hearing Andy Daly in character struggle with sharing his screen. It's it's the best thing.
Oh God,
he is not very good at it, and it's adorable. Okay, here we go. Oh yeah, and he always forgets to share sound. I'm not going to share sound, but all right, can you see?
Oh, that's funny. Yeah.
Okay, cool.
Technology. Imagine so cool. The Monkees trying to do this.
All right. Yeah, okay, this is it. Going back. Oh, wait. Okay, let's see here. Yeah, I have the sound off, so. Oh, he's going to hit the big bag. This is where the music starts. He's hitting the big bag. And that dude's smoking, by the way. There's a guy smoking in the gym. Okay, shadowboxing with possibly Peter. There's just shirtless. Oh my gosh, you are right! No there is no rope! Ah! I am shook.
You're Pinocchioed.
I am totally Pinocchioed. Oh, well, I have to go back and watch it again. Oh, no. No, what do they have in their hands? Just
look at, they're not even in sync.
You're right.
This girl on the left, she's in it. She's like, I'm going to work for this. And the girl on the right's like, whatever. Like, it's like she's never done.
So if you're watching this, like, on the tube that is for you, it is like, what is this, 8 minutes? 8 minutes, 24 seconds. And there's no rope. I have been bamboozled. Oh my gosh.
It's like she is just going. And the other one's just did it. Love it.
Davy, how dare you? Okay. All right, back to...
He couldn't do it. I'm telling you, he couldn't do it.
No, no, I refuse to believe that he could not jump rope.
Because he does it by himself, like, really well. Like, he's
you know what? Maybe they were terrible. They just kept slapping his legs, and he was like, God damn it.
That's possible, yeah. God, could you imagine him, like, yelling at them?
Oh, my God. They were, like crying.
Like a Christian Bale-style rant against these poor girls.
Davy was tough. Davy was a tough little bastard. But I'm sure he would have been nothing but sweet to those girls. But it is funny to think that he would just be yelling.
Just yelling at them in British.
Calling them the most horrible things. Okay, so
but it's British, so it sounds charming.
Yeah, and I'm like, aw, Davy. Just little hearts and flowers around their eyes. Okay, so in this montage, the champ is actually fighting with Davy, and Davy is just like crawling around on the floor.
This is where it's Scooby-Dooey.
Yes.
Actually, right after this is where it's really Scooby-Doo.
And then like and then Sholto is like cheering the champ, get him, just like kind of horrifying. I don't know why, it just really bothers me that he's like, go champ, get him. I'm like, oh, geez, dude. I mean, you already have money on him. You don't have to like, I don't know. It just seems like too much. And then the Monkees show up and they get into the ring, and then it's like a full-on WWF, just like it's on. Like,
rumble.
Everybody is fighting. The radio announcer loves it. He is just like, oh, this is the best fight ever, fight fans. Like, nobody cares that this is so against the rules. Pete is adorably chewing gum and ringing the bell. He's all dimples. He's just super cute. Mike keeps just moving to the side slightly, as I think Sholto is the one that's trying to punch Mike. Oh. And then Mickey and Vernon are just, I don't even know what's happening. They're on the ropes for some reason. I don't know what's happening. It's chaos, people.
It's banana time.
What is Scooby-Doo-ish?
Just the way they're all sort of zooming around and switching partners, and like everyone's doing whatever. It's just, it's almost like they're running off in different directions off the boxing thing coming out the other side. Like,
it is pretty much chaos. I cannot describe, like, that's why I can't describe what Mickey is doing, because I have no idea what Mickey is doing.
He's just shooting looks.
His opponent has to be Vernon, because Sholto's with Mike, but I don't know what, there's like a bunch of just bouncing off the ropes is what's happening over there.
Yeah.
And then another part that bothered young Tekurah is like not whenever, but one of the jokes is whenever Peter rings the bell, they all go to their corners, right?
Oh, yeah.
And then they end up sitting on each other, but then they freeze frame it for some reason. Like, so Mike sits down, and then Davy sits on Mike, and then there's like a weird freeze frame. And then Sholto sits down, and Vernon sits on Sholto, and there's like a weird freeze frame for a second. And then Peter rings the bell again, and then everybody's up fighting again. And I don't understand. Is that funny? I don't understand why there's a freeze frame.
I don't know. Like, it was because they did something weird with the newspapers too. Like, it would be like, unless that was just a glitch, that's possible too. But like when he was fighting and stuff in that other montage, they would drop the newspaper, but it was almost like a split second drop, and then it would like keep happening. It was weird.
Yeah, it was like
this is an experimental episode.
Yeah, maybe that was just like, ooh, look what we can do. Maybe that's what it was. Like, look, we can freeze frame
our technology. We're
in the middle of an episode. Yes, it was just I don't know. That just bothered me aesthetically as a child. I was like, ugh, that's gross. And they do that like twice. Yeah. Well, actually, I mean, if you count each person that's sitting down, I guess they do it 4 times. I mean, each couple that's sitting down happens 4 times. And I still don't understand how the champ never smacks Davy in this whole thing, because nobody ever takes the champ out.
Yeah, no. If he would have hit Davy Jones one time, this would have been an R-rated episode. His head would have gone flying. There'd been nothing.
Oh no, it would have been like that movie.
Yes.
Oh no.
Yes. Peter would have been Pyman if that would have happened. It's like, what's happening?
Oh no. Yeah, it would have been horrible. Oh boy. Yeah.
See, it all comes back to horror.
It is. Yeah, we did it. We did it, everybody. Yeah, there's no way that Davy is not like in a hospital somewhere at the end of this.
Yeah.
But
that would have been a funny ending too if he was like all cast.
Just all cast. Just all wrapped up. And then it's like they're talking to the wrong guy. It's like not even Davy. It's like, I'm over here. Boy. Yeah, that's what should have happened. Well, not should have, but realistically. So Davy somehow hits the ref and knocks out the ref. And the announcer is like, oh, and the ref is down. He's thrilled. Yeah, and I write in my notes, where did the champ go? And then I go, the cops show up. For some reason, who called the cops? The cops show up and arrest Sholto and Vernon for racketeering and da-da-da-da-da. You know, rightly so. But
yeah, did the Monkees call them on their way there?
I guess.
That was another Scooby-Doo moment, by the way. It's just like, oh, those pesky monkeys, they got me again. Like,
they always win. The Monkees will always win without guns. You know, they'll just like spin you in a circle and you get dizzy and then the cops are there. I mean, like that's how the Monkees win on numerous episodes. So, and then the adorable part, Sholto says to Davy, you're the most harmless fighter in the biz. And Davy says, I'll try to live up to that. Aww. They're peace-loving boys. They're so sweet. And then I'm wondering, and then they're talking to Davy. Mickey and Mike are talking to Davy. He's like, oh no, was it really all fixed? And I'm like, yeah, but that's okay. You're a great guy. You know, you're honest and da-da-da. And I'm wondering, where's Peter? Because I love Peter. I'm like, where's Peter? Why isn't Peter a part of this? And then Peter's back at the mic. Oh, because earlier Peter was at like the ringmaster mic saying, the new champion is the Monkees. And then he says, stand for the national anthem, which happens at the end of fights after I don't know why that's happening. Well,
I don't know.
But here's why. So that the Monkees can salute the national anthem and so Davy can knock himself out. Wah, 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 wah. And that's the end of the episode. Okay. Who salutes? You don't salute for the anthem unless you're in the armed forces, right?
I don't even know. Yeah, I don't think so. No, it's hand over your heart.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. Just for that last little joke.
Just for that. So yeah, real desperate to end this episode. Just like, how do we end it? And then like, yeah, the champ, they put the champ in, I am the greatest, randomly in the middle of that
also,
romp.
why would a British guy salute the American national anthem?
Yeah, Davy.
I don't think that's, not that it's not appropriate, but I don't think that's a requirement.
Yeah, the queen is crying somewhere. Like,
right?
Davy, how could you?
He was disowned by the British government after
by the
that.
Crown. The Crown
was a huge controversy.
No, David Judes. He might have been like, I feel like he got his citizenship like during.
Oh, probably, for sure.
During this. Anyway. But that's the episode, ladies and germs. Ha ha. Yeah. There's lots of, I like this version that we watched had like the Kellogg's commercial at the beginning, which I really love, seeing the little Kellogg's.
Yeah, I don't ever remember that, because at the end credits, it's like they all have their favorite cereal next to their name. Like, what is happening?
It's so cute. I know. Yeah, they never showed that on MTV. Yeah, the versions that I watched did not have the Kellogg's commercials. There's also like sometimes there's Kool-Aid commercials. I know when I went to see them on tour a few years ago, they showed like all those commercials and stuff on the screen like before the show, and that was really fun.
That's great.
I don't know what I'm saying. I'm sorry.
We're talking cereal.
What? Yeah, cereal. Apple Jacks. Apple Jacks. I do love an Apple
that
Jack.
old Apple Jacks box was like, wow.
That crazy apple. Like, insane looking apple. Apple dude. Then they showed variety pack. I'm like, oh.
Yeah.
I didn't know they had variety packs back. Because that makes sense. They would have variety packs back then. But that's weird. I didn't think about that. All right. So, Monkees in the Ring. That was it. So this is a weird episode, okay? This episode is weird for multiple reasons. Number one, like weird B-sidey songs in this episode. Like no hits. Laugh and I'll Be Back Upon My Feet. Total B-sides. And like also weird edits. Like weird, like they said in the description, what did they say? An alternate mix and an edited early version. Like weird versions of the songs. And then it's some reason, and it might just be the quality of the video that we saw, it's just dark. This episode just feels really dark to me. Maybe it's just the gym. But everything seems like really muted in color. It just seems like a dark episode.
Huh.
And there's a lot of Davy, a lot of shirtless Davy.
There's a lot of shirtless Davy.
And I just did not care. In fact, I was probably like, please put your shirt on. I do not like this.
Keep that robe on.
Yes, the robe was cute. Dynamite Davy Jones.
Where they had that pretty fast too.
Oh yeah, they had that ready. They had that like on Pistachio Day. They were like, get it,
right?
Get it. All right. So, any favorite performer? I like favorite performance. I think I might have to go with Smasher because he was so cute. And
yeah, the thing is that I kept jumping back and forth between who I like the most, because there was times when like Mike would just kind of like look into the camera.
Yeah.
I'm like, what? Because having no memory before, I don't know if that's a regular thing or not, but I was like, he's just looking straight into the camera.
Oh yeah. Yeah. They do love a camera take.
Love it. And then Mickey's, the way he just had these offhand looks that made me laugh.
Yeah, I think I'm gonna go with because like just the boys just didn't seem to be really in it enough, you know. Yeah, it was mostly Davy, and even he didn't have that much to do. And
that Vernon guy was kind of like, he reminds me of those dogs in the Looney Tune cartoons that are supposed to be tough, but then they sound really dopey when they talk.
Yes, that's exactly who he is. Wait, somebody on this episode did do a lot of voice work, and I can't remember who it was. Like somebody did a lot of Mr. Magoo voice work, and I was like, that's so weird.
Wow.
Like somebody played like the nephew or something of Mr. Magoo, and I'm like, okay, I don't remember Mr. Magoo enough to know who the freaking nephew is. But anyway, somebody ended up doing voice work. It might have been that guy. I think, yeah, I'm going to go with the Smasher because of his anger and then immediate capitulation on the phone.
Yeah, that tone shift was truly like out of some famous acting coach class. It was gorgeous.
It was very good.
Oh, okay.
What?
Oh, okay, that makes sense.
Yeah.
I'm a worse fighter. I get it.
Yeah, you're right. Yeah,
I'll take it.
Yeah, I love Smasher. And I do, you know what? Second place is going to be the radio announcer because the announcer guy at the side, Because at one point he goes, "Oh, what a wonderful fight this is," and that "oh" sound he makes just makes me giggle. It's so weird.
He's just sleeping and yawning through the entire thing, and then
and then he's so excited that chaos is reigning. Oh, that's from a horror movie, right? Is that a horror movie? What was the movie with the goat that comes out and says "Chaos reigns"? Is that a horror movie?
I think is it The Witch?
I don't know.
With Black Tom, the black.
Oh, is that what it is? The Vivitch?
The Vivitch. I don't remember him talking.
I don't know. I just remember seeing pictures of that goat everywhere.
Yeah, that's The Witch or the Vivitch.
He doesn't talk?
I don't think so. I don't really remember that movie much, except for the end where they're all naked and flying in the air and stuff. Spoiler, sorry.
I'm not seeing it. Okay. Oh, I wish that goat talked. All right.
He could, and I just don't recall.
Okay. So here's the game that my friend Mark Leonard created. Mark Leonard created the game. Instead of F, Marry, Kill, we do Park, Coffee, Shins, Bank. So out of the 4 Monkees, you have Davy, Peter, Mickey, and Mike. Which one would you like to go to the park with? Which one would you like to have a coffee with? Which one would you kick in the shins? And which one would you rob a bank with?
Okay. All
Park,
right.
coffee, shins, bank.
I think I would park with Peter.
Ah, okay.
He seems like he'd be interesting to just, wander the wilderness with.
Yes.
Coffee with Mickey.
All right. He'll make some faces at you.
Yeah, and I think he'd have some good stories.
Definitely.
I guess Davy gets the shins.
Oh, that makes me laugh. I'm sorry, everybody.
And
I'm sorry, Davy fans.
You gotta rob a bank. You gotta rob a bank with Mike. He already has the head covering.
he's gonna pull that hat down.
Yeah, just pull it down. Let's go. Also,
Yeah.
he seems like he's smart. He might be able to plan.
Mike is the smartest. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, because he figured out how to get Vernon in the closet. He had that all ready to go. All right, good. That was quick. That was a very quick game of Park, Coffee, Shins, Bank. I think you're the fastest.
Oh wow!
To make a decision.
By the way, did they use those handcuffs on Vernon?
I don't know. I honestly think they just closed the door on him.
Yeah, they didn't think. Well, maybe we should shackle him.
No, they're not. They don't think that way. They're nice boys. They're good boys.
Mike.
You're disappointed. You're thinking about having those in your bank robbery scenario, huh?
Right. You can't even think to handcuff the thug. How are we going to get this cash out? Bank of America down the street's not going to go quietly.
That's true. Come on, Mike. Plan ahead. Before we go, I want to thank Tamara Waltman, who responded somewhere on Facebook. I can't find it now, of course, but I think it was Facebook. It had to have been Facebook, but I cannot find these responses. She is a Monkees fan, and she shared with me that she remembers the ASL names for the Monkees. The fans had ASL names for the boys.
Oh, wow.
And now I wish I could find it. I'm so frustrated that I cannot find this comment. I've been searching. And I think Davy's sign was the Englishman. I think Mickey had 2. Mickey's was crazy hair and also like chaos or something like that, crazy or something. What was Peter's? Peter's was something like peaceful or sweetheart or something like that. And I think Mike's was something like tall or something like that. Or Texan or something like that. Anyway, I just thought it was so fascinating, Tamara. And that was really cool to know what the names were, the ASL names were for the Monkees.
Yeah, that's really neat.
That was super cool. So thank you, Tamara. And I wish I could find that. I can't believe I can't find it. Seriously, I'm searching you on Facebook right now, and I cannot find that post. All right, maybe she decided, you know what? This lady's dumb. I'm deleting it. I don't want her to know anything. All right. So, Garon, thank you so much for doing this.
Thank you for asking me. This was such a unexpected blast. I'm like the Monkees. I haven't watched that in so long, and I adored every second of it.
Yay! I'm so glad. It was so nice to talk to you. We didn't even talk about. Dude, there were so many things I was thinking. I was like, oh, maybe we'll talk about drag, or maybe I'll ask him about this, and we didn't even. We ended up with horror movies.
I know, right? That's the funny thing. I actually just mentioned this to somebody the other day that everybody, when I get asked to do shows, it's usually like movie related or trivia related. No one ever asked me to do like a drag race show or anything like that. I'm like, I want to talk about drag race.
I do too. Oh man, I could talk about drag race. My family is so sick of me talking about. Okay, you know what? We'll save this for after. All right. So anyway, thank you, Garon. Where can people find you? Plug away.
You can find me on Twitter, Instagram, Patreon, Twitch at My Name is Garon. Facebook is Garon. I don't even know what my Facebook. It's probably the same thing. Just find me. You'll find me.
Garon.
Yes. Standard spelling.
You know what? Sometimes I think that Jimmy Pardo, like, he'll see me like in the crowd and stuff. And sometimes I think he's afraid he's going to mess up my name. And that's why he doesn't like call me out. I don't doubt that. It's when you get people with names that could go either way, it's like, you get a panic. I'm like, I know you see me, sir. Like, I'm right here. Never says my name on stage. Never. Anyway, that's just a personal thing. Okay, so we can cut that, Jake. That's unnecessary. All right. So my name is Garon. Never Not Funny is the podcast. It is just the joy of my life. And this has been the Monkees podcast. Please subscribe, leave a rating and review on Apple Podcasts. Find us on all social media at Monkees Podcast. Support the show by getting official podcast merch. That's right, masks and everything at dragonwagonshop.com. And I don't have a sign off. Should I have a sign off, Garon? Should I have a thing I say at the end of every episode? This is like episode 20, and I'm still just like, oh, bye. I should have a thing. You know, yeah, I picked one for my Twitch sign off. I say good night and good gaming, like I'm Edward R. Murrow of the gaming world. Cut to someone's like, I've been saying that for 15 years. Like, of course, I'm sure. Whatever, it's mine now. Yeah, I should say something like love is understanding. That's like this. Oh no, that's too much. Let it come to you. It'll come to you naturally. Don't force it. All right. Anyway. Thank you, everybody. Again, apologies. I was just on a vacation. I was like, you know what, people? I need a break from technology, because that's the sad thing, is that my life is now Zoom. Like, I teach on Zoom, and then it's like, oh, let me have fun and do my podcast. Oh, on Zoom. And so I just needed a break, everybody. I'm sorry. We'll get back to regular episodes. I promise. I missed you. Have a great new year, everybody, and stay strong. And it's okay to cry, and it's okay to laugh. All right. Bye, everybody. Say bye, Garon. Bye.
Internet! I'm Coy Jandro, a Bostonian who loves pop culture, comic books, and people. And I host Coycast. It's a podcast about all those things. If it fits in on a con floor, we talk about it on Coycast. Myself and producer Jake do previews, reviews, deep dives, and tinfoil hat theories about everything from movies, TV, and the comic books themselves. I also like to dish out comic recommendations from my 100+ pull list a week, so you know what's best to buy. So join us, True Believer, on Coycast.com or wherever you're listening to this podcast right now.
Dragon Way.